A big mistake people make when they buy a chef's knife is choosing the wrong size. When it comes to chef's knives, choosing the correct size for you is super important. I'm going to show you why, and I'll talk you through the different sizes and dimensions of a chef's knife, and then I'll show you a really simple way of choosing the correct size chef's knife for you. Chef's knives usually come in 6, 8 and 10 inch sizes, and sometimes you'll also get the option for a 12-inch chef's knife as well. Now those sizes might not sound that much different, but in reality they really are. This is an 8-inch chef's knife, and this is a 6-inch chef's knife. The size difference is huge, and if a knife is too large for the user, it becomes more difficult to control, more cumbersome, and ultimately more dangerous and harder to work with. That's why it's particularly important to choose the right size chef's knife for you. But before we talk about how you can do that, it's important to know the different parts of a chef's knives so you know what the different lengths are referring to. There are 5 parts that all chef's knives will have. The edge is the sharp edge of the blade. On a chef's knife, it usually has a curve, becoming more curved towards the tip of the knife. The spine is the opposite side from the edge, running along the back of the knife. Then you have the handle and the heel of the knife, which is this section of the blade between the bottom of the handle and the edge. If your knife is forged, it'll also have a bolster, the thick piece of metal where the blade meets the handle. But stamped steel knives don't have a bolster and the blade just continues straight into the handle. Now that that's covered, what do we actually mean when we talk about 6, 8, 10-inch knife lengths? The part of the knife the length refers to is the blade, from where the handle meets the blade or the bolster, right along to the tip of the blade. It's that length that we're referring to. The handle itself is never included in the length of the knife, only the blade steel. This is an 8-inch chef's knife, and you can see that when we measure the blade length, it comes out at 8 inches. Now we know which part of the knife we're looking at, we can choose the right knife length for you. First of all, you need to picture the knife as an extension of your own arm, and so the right size for you will be directly proportional to your arm length, specifically your forearm. You can easily choose the correct knife size by measuring a knife against your forearm. What you're looking for is the closest match to your forearm, the distance between your wrist and your elbow. My 8-inch knife fits perfectly in that space. Clearly, a 6-inch knife would be way too small and a 10-inch knife would stretch past my elbow. If you don't have a knife, then you can still easily do this check simply by using a tape measure extended to 6, 8 and 10 inches and do the exact same test. It's important to note that you should always round down when choosing a chef's knife size. For example, if your forearm is only slightly smaller than 10 inches, you should round down to an 8-inch knife, because ultimately larger knives are harder to control. Once you know the right size for you, you'll need to pick a quality chef's knife. For that, you need to watch my video here on how you can get an amazing quality chef's knife for literally 1/3 the price of the larger brands.